a secret too dark and extraordinary for the surface world to comprehend. In the Archuleta Mesa, in the remote desert of Dulce, New Mexico, there lies what some claim to be one of the most sinister locations on the planet. A secret underground facility where humans and extraterrestrials work side by side. The mystery of the Dulce base, with all the fear and speculation, is brought to light by a set of documents known as the Dulce Papers. The Dulce Papers tell a story of advanced technology, genetic experimentation, the long speculated secret partnership between the shadowy high table of the government and alien beings. The papers describe a multi-leveled laboratory buried deep beneath the desert floor, where people say they are experimenting with merging human and alien DNA, mind control techniques, and alien technology. For something like this to exist, there has to be secrecy for several reasons. For example, experimenting on humans would be criminal. Revealing advanced alien technology for the world to see would be good for transparency, but pretty...
So you know, Israel, that they've been knowing about this for a long time because they've been doing it for so long. It's just now that people are bringing it out. The videos are now being shown. But they've been knowing about this. That's why so many people come on missing. Because they're doing all these experiments. But it's catching up with them now, Israel. Because now they're being exposed.
Bad for defense. And revealing to the world the existence of alien beings, well, that would make this whole thing seem like a fairy tale to many people. And maybe that is exactly what they want the public to think.
It's not no fairy tale, it's real. What he's saying is real, and so many other people. This is why they're trying their best to ban TikTok. Because it's exposing them for what they're doing and who they are.
Not only would they have no problem letting people believe they are working with aliens, they would have no problem letting people believe they are working with aliens in a specific location. Meanwhile, they've moved their operations to a different unsuspected location a long time ago. Let's take a brief look into the history of the Dulce Papers, the whistleblowers who risked everything to expose these secrets, and the details of what is said to happen far below the surface. Paranoia, disinformation. Is there any truth to the secrets that may be buried there? You know, a conspiracy is when two or more people get together with plans to hide a crime. And
this is why when they have their secret meeting with the secret society, we're not invited because the secret society is planning things against us. So naturally they wouldn't want us there because we would tell everybody about their secrets. So this is why we're not invited to the meeting that they have when they are discussing things with the fallen angels.
there really is no bigger crime than working with the devil.
Big dental bills can often come as a shock, but there's an affordable solution. Dental insurance from physicians.
So the Dulce Papers are a collection of documents alleged to have originated from whistleblowers that describe an underground alien-human joint facility located beneath Dulce, New Mexico. The Dulce base is said to be a multi-level underground facility home to an operation between humans and extraterrestrials, particularly the Greys. Some say it's located under Archuleta Mesa on the Colorado-New Mexico border. The facility reportedly contains multiple levels, each dedicated to
Israel. They're not dealing with those type entities. They're not dealing with nothing like this. Don't believe them when they tell you this is what they're dealing with. No, they're not dealing with this. This is just some creature they created, and now they're saying that they're having meetings with this right here. No, they're talking to those fallen angels. And they're taking orders from those fallen angels. Not that.
specific activities. At the top levels, there is security and administration. At the middle levels, there are advanced technologies, including mind control and genetic experiments. And down at the lower levels, there are darker and more sinister activities, including genetic hybridization programs and even nightmare halls where human-alien experiments occur. Now sit up in your seat and listen closely. What if I told you that gray alien beings did not originate on some distant planet or outer space, but here on Earth? What if I told you that alien grays originated in underground bases like Dulce, where they manufacture bodies for extra-dimensional beings?
Now you can look at these creatures here, or whatever this entity is, or whatever that they created here. Look at this. This is something they created. Because if it wasn't, why would it have it in this sack here, filled with water or whatever the solution is, with tubes here? This is something that they're feeding, and this is something that's growing, or some entity they created. They created this, Israel. This is what the fallen angels taught them how to do. Remember, when they fell, they taught man how to do a lot of things. This is one of them.
To inhabit or possess. This is why you may have heard of insectoid beings, like the mantis or ant-like alien beings. These are manufactured bodies, and the reason they are in the form of an insect is because of their durability and strength. The hard exoskeleton that can regulate temperatures and withstand extreme conditions. Bodies that can last a very long time. So not only can they manufacture alien gray bodies, not only can they manufacture insectoid bodies, but they can manufacture bodies that would give the impression that this is some type of ancient indigenous creature. In other words, humanoid bodies that resemble animals, such as Bigfoot. And this is the reason you will hear Bigfoot being spotted right along with UFOs and orbs of light. Actually, since we are on the subject, all of the above are the same. In other words, alien grays are manufactured bodies for entities to inhabit or possess. Insectoids are manufactured bodies for these beings to inhabit. Bigfoot is a type of manufactured body for these entities to inhabit. And UFOs are manufactured.
Yeah, because evil spirits, familiar spirits, demons have to have a body to inhabit, have to go into a body to get that person to do the evil deed that they want them to do. They have to inhabit our bodies to carry on whatever evil intentions that they have. They have to inhabit our bodies to be able to do it, Israel.
Manufactured vessels for these entities to inhabit or possess. Is it all coming together now? Is it all starting to make sense? This is why all of these things are faster than us. They are all elusive. And they all can move out of sight and vanish in a blink of an eye. And you've heard those stories about how UFOs might be remotely controlled, or they are...
And supposedly they're coming up out of the water. Supposedly. Because is it water, ocean, space? Not the space that's above, but the space that's below, under the waters. Could be a whole civilization under waters. Waters within a water. Right? It's not out in space, because you can't get out of the firmament to do that. Now you can come in through a portal or a different dimension. Yeah, you can do that. But nobody can leave or go out. So their space is underwater.
Manifestations that aliens use to probe our planet. But they are nothing more than manufactured vehicles that have been possessed by otherworldly entities. Or, I'm sorry, they may be. This is why many people describe these vehicles as if they are alive. The way they move, the way they change shape.
Anyone with $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans may qualify for help from National Debt Relief. Minimum payments could literally...
It's almost like when a possessed person...
I'm not going to say the spaceship is alive. I'm going to say that whatever is driving the ship is controlling the ship on what it wanted to do. The entity has been in it for so long. I guess the ship pretty much know what to do, being driven by that entity, whatever the entity may be, because we don't know exactly what's inside those ships that everybody's seeing, that they're seeing coming up out the ocean, because their space is underwater. Their headquarters is underwater. And this is why they try to keep us out of the water. Because if we were in the water, then we would see what's down there and what they don't want us to see, but they keep us away from. Then everybody will be trying to go underwater to see what's going on.
Is able to contort their body to positions that are not possible for the human body unless it were possessed. In the same sense, a regular aircraft cannot make these maneuvers and change shape unless they too are possessed. In other words, it's not advanced technology. It's just an aircraft that has been used as a vessel and possessed. So a manufactured aircraft, something that is nothing more than an object, once it's possessed, becomes a shape-shifting UFO. I know it sounds a little strange at first, but think about that. You see, people want a logical, scientific explanation for these things, when many of us know that many of these encounters or sightings have a very spiritual nature to them, don't they? Why are alien abduction stories very similar to satanic ritual abuse stories? Now, there is a story about what was called the Dulce Wars. The Dulce Wars is one of the most chilling and controversial tales in UFO lore. A story about a violent conflict buried deep beneath Archuleta Mesa in Dulce, New Mexico. According to accounts from whistleblowers, including Thomas Costello, a former security officer at the base, the war broke out in the corridors of the Dulce base. Costello claimed that tensions reached a breaking point when human personnel discovered horrifying experiments on human abductees conducted in the lower levels of the facility. Because, of course, compartmentalization.
Now you understand why, Israel, so many people are coming up missing. So many kids are disappearing and people are disappearing because they're using their bodies to do experiments on, to create other creatures. This is what the fallen angels done when they fell. Because they were so angry with the Creator that they mixed DNA, just like what they're doing now, to create creatures, entities. So if they were warned not to do this, but they did it anyway, this is what those fallen angels that they're taking orders from is telling them to do this. This is why they have these underground facilities and underground tunnels. Just so, just so they, one, wouldn't get caught, and then two, that they can carry their plot out on what they wanted to do without any consequences or anyone knowing.
Which occurs on a regular basis throughout government agencies. That's why one department doesn't know what another department in the same agency.
Listen, you want to skip this ad. I would too. But what if I told you there's a skip ads forever
is doing. These experiments, which involved genetic manipulation and hybridization projects, were said to have violated the terms of the Human-Alien Agreement. This led to outrage, sparking a violent conflict between human military forces and the alien Greys who occupied the deeper levels of the base. The battle itself is described as nothing short of science fiction come to life, with reports of high-tech energy weapons, lasers. Costello's accounts paints a grim picture of chaos and fear, and advanced alien technology overwhelming human.
So if they were down there and they had a whistleblower that exposed them, what were they warring with? And who was they at war with? Could it have been the angels? Could the fallen angels turned on them? And they end up warring with the army, government, scientists, or I should say mad scientists. Who was they at war with? And then why? Did something go wrong? Did a deal go bad and they had to go to war? You only go to war when something's wrong, Israel. So what was they warring for?
Forces. Some say dozens of soldiers were killed in the conflict, and Costello himself claimed to have narrowly escaped with his life, smuggling out the Dulce papers to expose the truth. According to his story, the aftermath of the Dulce Wars left the aliens in control of the lower levels of the base, while the humans retained the upper sections. But this marked a new era of strained relations between the high table factions of the US government and their extraterrestrial counterparts. All of it buried under denial and disinformation. You know, skeptics argue that the story is either an elaborate hoax or a carefully orchestrated disinformation campaign designed to distract from classified military projects. Yet, the whole idea of an underground military alien base is wild itself. Why would the Dulce Wars be so unbelievable at that point? In the spiritual sense, both humans and alien beings are both being deceived by the devil. Let's not forget, fallen angels, demons, evil spirits, even these entities are not immune to the lies and manipulation of Satan. Well, that's going to be all for now, and there is more to come. I do have a recommended video of the day. Watch that video. It will be linked on screen at the top right corner of this video and in the description box and pinned comment below. Please hit the thumb.
I'm sure whatever it is that they're doing, eventually we're going to find out. Much love, Israel.